Vanakkam,
Namaste.
Namaskaram,
Sai Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Swamiye Saranamayappa. Welcome everybody. Good afternoon to everyone. It's a beautiful Tuesday. Afternoon. Yeah. I usually say morning. Welcome to the show. If you are watching the show for the very first time, you are streaming live with us in Lanesha South on Atonville TV. I'm your host Kimera Heeralal. By my side, I've got Dashnee, Manikam.
Vanakkam, everyone.
And if you want to join us in conversation, please do so in studio, as you'll see the contact details at the bottom right of your screen, or you could use the bottom column where it says live chat, as we are streaming live. Alright, so please do forgive us as we didn't stream live Friday and yesterday. The crew wasn't well, so you know how things happen when the body gets sick. So unfortunately we couldn't run for 2 full days. Well, we apologize for that.
But we are back again.
We're back
with some new topics.
Yeah. Alright, so today we decided to talk about the origins of Sahaj Marg. And what is your take on the understanding of the Sahaj Marg, if you know?
Okay, so I didn't know, but now we do know. So it's an organization, a non-profit organization, and they indulge with meditation. One of their biggest aspects is meditation. So spirituality, basically.
It's basically spirituality.
Yes.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, interact with us in studio today. Today we're talking about the origins of the Sahaj Marg, and we'd like to know your opinions, your beliefs, your understanding of the Sahaj Marg. It'll be nice to get somebody's perspective or an outsider's opinion.
Definitely would love to hear what others think about it.
Okay, so my perspective on this is also similar to what Dashnee says. She says that it's spirituality, basically. Alright, so from the research that I've taken into account, Sahaj Marg, or also known as heartfulness meditation, is a set of meditative practices first developed at the turn of the 20th century and formalized into teaching through Sri Ramchandra Mission in 1945. Now, it is a form of Raja Yoga meditation system. So the use of the pranahuti, or the yogic transmission, and the cleaning of impressions, called the samskaras, are claimed to be unique in this method. So that's my understanding. You've heard Dash's understanding. When we come back, we're going to take a little dip out of the studio and see what other people have to say. But before we do, let's take a commercial break.
Vanakkam,
Namaste,
Namaskaram,
Sai Ram,
Jai Shri Ram.
Swamiye Saranamayappa. Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, you are currently streaming live with us right here in Lanesha South on Atonville TV. This is the Journey Show, the show about exploring Hinduism as a whole. I'm your host Kimera Heeralal. By my side, I've got Dashnee, Manikam.
Vanakkam, everyone.
Join us in conversation. As you can see, the contact details at the bottom right of your screen, or you could use the bottom column where it says live chat. Right there. Just look. Okay. Alright, so we decided to talk about the origins of the Sahaj Marg this afternoon. Before we get to our research, let's take a walk out of the studio.
Definitely.
Right, we've got Dr. P.K. Maestri explaining to us what he has come up with or researched on the origins of the Sahaj Marg. Let's take a look.
Good evening to the viewers of Atonville TV. how befitting this week when Andy and Kimera asked me to speak on the subject on Sahaj Marg. It was on Friday. It was Guru Purnima Day. It extended into Monday this week, and that was yesterday. Now, Guru Purnima, this is one of the topics that merges together with our subject of today, the Sahaj Marg. It's such a huge topic. So I've taken down salient points for the benefit of you viewers here tonight. The principle of Sahaj Marg is illustrated in the Puja Parasatri Sri R. Gopalacharya, who is the president of the Sri Ramchandra Mission in Shalajapur, Uttar Pradesh, India. It is also, interestingly for the viewers here tonight, it's a place also where the Guptas originated and now living in Dubai. The Master's message, the Master, as we say in the Guru Purnima, everybody needs a master. Not the temples, not the mosques. You need a master if you want to achieve your mission, to achieve your goal. So this is the crux of the matter. This is what the whole thing is about. So I summarized it as such. The Master's message meant repeated reading and rereading, and you'll find a vast wealth of spiritual wisdom unfolding before you. So he says that if you're going to sit and meditate for hours and hours upon another person who's just meditating, then you're not going to achieve anything, because you need to become knowledgeable spiritually, and that can happen by reading. Then only the meditation and the various yoga positions will come into play. The divine love of the Master for all humanity and his commitment to the spiritual upliftment shines through his talks. This is the fundamental truth of Sahaj Marg, that he is the be-all and end-all of your existence as a disciple, and that life is glorious, which can merge itself into his life. Now look at that. You need a guru to take you to the ultimate. Whatever the guru tells you is an enlightened soul. So whatever the guru tells you is for the betterment of your soul. So we have to come to a position where we are going to merge our soul with his soul. Therefore, the principle of the Sahaj Marg is based upon your commitment to an enlightened guru. Herein is Master Babuji Maharaj. Babuji Maharaj is the head of the Sahaj Marg. And he says, you must become like the Master, you must help yourself. You must give your heart to the Master. You must become the lover, beloved, and love. You must transform yourself. You must meet regular with your Master. You must aspire for the highest. You must understand the messages of the Master. You must be very careful here. Commonly in South Africa, we call the priests in the temples who are doing temple worship as gurus. That guru is a different guru. We should be calling him priest. In Tamil, you should be calling pusalis, and differentiate him from the Guru Master. Guru Master is a very big topic. It's an enlightened soul who has already known who is God, and that is the divine radiant light. Or you're going to call it the divine radiant supreme light. The Sahaj Marg is a complete system. Very important, the word complete system. There is a destiny that we bring. We call it samskara. It is an account from the previous life that we bring into this life. It may be the credit or debit year of karma. We bring a fixed asset to this life, but it can be changed for the better by following the principles of the Sahaj Marg as described by me. So it's very important that all of us have to have a master, or what we're going to call a guru master. There is a great deal of flexibility in our approach with which we can change our future, the past can be converted to the present and it can be used to make up the future. All is not lost. As long as you have the master, you're going to see me repeatedly saying the word, you need to have, I'm going to add, an enlightened master. As it was very nicely put yesterday morning by the Ramakrishna Center of Johannesburg, they sent me a message and it said, don't just pick up a guru from the street. And I was wondering, what is the master there in Joburg talking about? He says you can pick up anybody who says he's a master, but we are looking for an enlightened master, a master who has seen the radiant light. Again, I repeat, that the Sahaj Marg is a total system. In Hinduism, we have experienced great failures, multiple gods and goddesses, you know that. Hanuman is for strength, Saraswati for education, Lakshmi is for wealth. Film stars have become gods. Mahatma Gandhi has become a god. So in India, it is very different. And we are looked down upon by the West because they are saying we have a multiple system of gods, which is not true. We ourselves only have one God, but we call it by different names. So we have partitioned the assets of the heaven and created offices herein on Mother Earth. That's what we mean. There's only one God. We've taken the one God and made them into offices here on earth. We call the people of the West immoral and corrupt, but they are successful. This is because they had a single channel of one God. We have a number of gods, hundreds of channels. Today I bathed in the Ganges, tomorrow in the Yamuna River, and then in the Saraswati River, and I feel that's not good enough. Every region in India that I go, I must go and bath in the river. We are not happy, and a single bath in the Ganges is no good. But how silly of you. It is the same water that is flowing all over. And if it is the greatness of the water to make me a virtuous soul, then that is enough. Then you say, this is not enough. I must go now to the temple and watch Shiva and Vishnu and all the multiplicity of gods that are present in our religious institutions. So wisdom of the Sahaj Marg says, use what you have today for today's benefit. The future is not in your hands. Think of the present, what you can do in the present. What you can be in the present to make the future that you want it to be. When you are sick, you seek the help of Swamijis, good and bad Swamis. I'd like to repeat this. You get good and bad Swamis, but that's for another day. How the Swamijis, how the Gurus taking advantage of our mothers and sisters in South Africa. That is very sad. And our great institutions like the South African Hindu Mahasabha, the South African Tamil Federation, the Andhra Mahasabha has never come to the rescue of our female devotees in the temple. And this is all over the country. Not only in Lenasia South, Lenasia, I heard in Phoenix and Chatsworth. It is vibrant, wherein our Guru, Masters, Swamis are taking advantage of our female personnel. But if you want a total system to change you completely, then you must look for the total system. And what is the total system? As I'm explaining to you, the total system is as we are describing from the Marg. In the Gita, Krishna says, I am the timer, I am the destroyer of the universe and the creator of the universe again. Look what is Krishna saying. I am the destroyer of the universe and I am the creator of the universe. He's talking to Arjuna. When the time comes, I'll do it. I am time myself. Time comes, the solution will remedy itself. Every problem contains a solution. There cannot be a problem without a solution. So when you are sick, you are running to see a guru or a master who may be true or false. Everything will take its course. All problems will be solved. You need to find an enlightened master. So you see, dear people, when you have to reach out your goal, so we say in Hindi, the home of your beloved, in the case of God himself, we have to cross so many rivers, mountains, oceans. Every good and bad effect is because of your past. Through my thoughts and deeds of the past, which are acting now in the present, and when that samskara is removed, there is nothing else that can happen to you. You need to remove the samskara, and the samskara in you can only be removed. Not by God. God is a creator. He is not a remover of your sins. Again, God is a creator. He is not involved in removing your sins or your illnesses. You must remove it by yourself. You have a brain. You have eyes and you have ears and you have hands to write. So you need to look for an enlightened master. You can keep on repeating. You need to look for an enlightened master. And I don't need you to think that I'm insulting any guru or master in the temples. They are not there to take us to heaven. And only an enlightened master. The guru that's in the temple is for temple worship. I want to repeat this. He's there for temple worship. He's not in a position to take you to the various levels and you become soluble with the divine radiant light. Every good and bad effect is because of your past, through your thoughts and deeds of the past, which are acting now and in the present. When the samskara is removed, there is nothing else that can happen to you. I repeated that now. The Sahaj Marg is a philosophy and truth. Now when samskara is gone, God cannot give you pleasure or pain. God is not the giver of anything. God is the creator. God creates us pure. I mentioned last week that our souls are 100% pure, and when those 108 souls starts multiplying and become who we are today, it is believed that our souls are only 2% pure. He created us like himself. So he created us in the image of God. That's what they're saying. He created us like himself. The first original thought arises, it is the pure mind of God. Then we came out of that, and this attitude came, and this idea came, I exist, because I am the image of God. The movement, that idea, I exist, came, then you become responsible for your own thoughts, your own actions, and therefore, I suffer the consequences of my thoughts and actions. This is how samskara was created. That is God's great plan. Then that becomes deeper and deeper, harder and harder, and it becomes a solid mass, which you can't remove to make it soft. So we can move slowly to the path and become soluble in God. Again, you need an enlightened person. It cannot be removed by you. You need a master who's able to act on you, to remove the solidness, change your future for you, and into something glorious, something divine. Only a master can undo the grossness or the solidness in you. You can see the repetition. We keep on saying you need an enlightened master. You need an enlightened guru. Underline those words in your mind. Enlightened guru, which is different from the guru in the temples. The grossness, if you try to remove, you can get killed. So be patient. It's important while the guru attends to the softening process and slowly return you to allow you to seek liberation only when you are alive. So it is said that only when you are alive you can receive liberation, not when you're dead. How are they going to remove the samskara from you when you're dead? They have to remove the samskara from you when you're alive. So if it is not removed, then the cycle of birth and death will continue and continue and continue for that million years, from plant life to animal life, until you become soluble with God. If you die while shattering the rock of your deeds, you will not gain moksha liberation. The master has to undertake pride and skill to relieve you of the soft problems or granite problems. Soft problems, the softness of your samskara. Granite, the solidness of your samskara. Again, you are the creator of your sins or illnesses, etc., not God. Pray sincerely to God and He will send you a guru to come to rectify your needs. Look at that. So basically, those who did not know, we went to the temples to pray to the God. Why? We thought the God is coming to help us. Come on. How can the God come to help you when your soul is only 2% and God is 100%? So He sends a guru. He sends a guru to come and soften your solidness and slowly find your path. It might take a day, it might take a month, it might take years for Him to desolidify the granite within you and get rid of your samskara. Spiritual wealth comes to you while practicing meditation and yoga, and follow the master. Everything is about meditation and yoga. I told you about the different types of yoga. Again, we need a master to lead us to liberation immediately or slowly, depending on our samskara or our karma. I thank you.
Dr. P.K. Maestri, everybody, from the MSK Temple in Lenasia South Extension on Starling Street, for those of you who are looking for it. So he just gave us a very long explanation about the origins of the Sahaj Marg, ladies and gentlemen.
An intense opinion of it.
Yeah,
he did have some good points.
Yes, but did you understand it? Let's be honest.
I did.
Yeah, okay.
But I feel like I would need more time to actually
grasp it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the origins of the Sahaj Marg. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back straight after this commercial break.
The ultimate accessory, the latest shiny thing, mesmerized, trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Manikam.
Namaste.
Namaskaram.
Sai Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Welcome back, everybody. If you just join us, you're a little late, but it's okay. You can scroll back on the bar, on the YouTube bar, and watch the show again.
Yes.
Or click on the link a little bit later if you are not streaming live with us, as we are in Lenasia South. But this is Actonville TV. Alright, for those of you that don't like, well, I'm sure you know us by now. You think you know us?
For our new viewers.
Alright, I'm Kimera, Heeralal by my side. I've got Dashnee, Manikam.
Manikam, everyone.
Alright, and if you want to join us in conversation, please do. You can use the bottom column where it says live chat, or you could use our WhatsApp line, which you can see at the bottom right of your screen throughout the entire show. Okay, so for those of you who missed the beginning, we had Dr. P.K. Maestri explaining the origins of the Sahaj Marg. Dashnee and myself, Kimera Heeralal, decided, okay, we're gonna do some research on this, and this was literally yesterday. So something I wasn't really aware of, being honest.
I wasn't aware of this organization as well.
Yeah.
Neither did I know it was a type of meditation,
Yes.
that there was this other aspect to it. But now we learn every day.
Yeah. Alright, so before we get back into it, we're not going to keep you guys like at this boring pace. Let's keep it a little bit exciting. So everybody knows that song Nada Gana Nada, right?
Yes.
Now today it's being performed by Sianda Mshaba and Baby Nishara from Durban. Check them out.
नादा गणनादा तेरी यादा
Baba and baby Nashara all the way from Durban performing for you Nada Gana Nada. We should open up the show with that one because it's not going to be.
Yeah,
okay, it's not prayer, but it's still our show. But
to open our way for the show for everything to go well.
Yeah, man. All right. So do interact with us in studio today. If you are watching the show for the very first time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it already. But my favorite part is share.
We want everyone to be on the show.
All right. So, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So this afternoon we're talking about the origins of the Sahaj Marg, right? Now, what do you believe that it is, or what do you understand of it? And what do you want to share with us? You tell us.
What do you want to know?
Okay, so tell us what are the benefits of this. We did mention that it's a bit of it's basically, we said it was spirituality, what we think.
Yeah.
Right? And we did mention that it's connected with like meditation is spirituality as well. Alright, so I decided to share with everybody in the beginning of the show that the Sahaj Marg, or I call it the heartfulness of meditation, and Dashnee also explained a bit in depth what she thought it was. You as the viewer, we'd like to hear from you what are the origins of the Sahaj Marg. So you tell us what's the benefits of it.
Okay, so basically it brings simplicity and balance into everyday life. So like meditation. So I just think it's a more in-depth topic of meditation. Do you know Sahaj Marg means heartfulness?
Yes.
Yeah. So it removes complexities and obstacles to personal growth, quiets the mind and opens the heart, helps to develop a lifelong discipline. So again, the conclusion is spirituality. It brings about discipline into your life. So obviously if you doing meditation, it's to bring stillness to your mind, it's to bring growth, spiritual growth, self-growth, of how to ground yourself, because that's what meditation is for.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people always wonder stuff like of how when you're meditating, thoughts always come into your head.
Yes.
I'm sure when you started meditating, you would, you'll think your mind will travel and
Wonder.
your mind will think,
No, it's not your mind traveling. It's like say somebody taught you, okay, focus on a light in your heart, right? This is what I was taught.
Yeah.
And as you're doing that, funny thoughts of like, oh, I never pick up the washing, or I never drop off this, or something of your subconscious worry will creep into you, even though you're focused. When you start, it somehow sneaks into your brain.
That's true. So this organization and what they teach is basically to get through to those stuff. So one thing about the Sahaj Marg, it teaches us that. So, like I said, we have this question of when we start meditating, when we start this journey of meditation, there's always thoughts that come in your mind, and you're like, but they say, you're supposed to have a still mind, a clear mind. So it's something of we control our mind, we control about what we think about.
Yeah.
So you have to choose to have this thing of you're supposed to ignore whatever comes into your mind and not feed into it. Example.
Wait. Can I just try and rephrase that? Okay, this is what I do. I was taught this, right?
Yeah.
I'll fail to mention their names as they don't want to be mentioned on the show, right?
Yeah.
So they taught me if the thought doesn't leak into your safe space, let it just pass, but gradually. Don't know, go out
No,
of my head.
no,
You know what I mean? Let it pass through, because you are human, right?
Yeah. So like I said, it teaches you that, like you said, you let it go slowly.
Yeah.
So as time goes into your journey of meditation, you will now you won't give into the thoughts.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you're thinking like an exam, basically, so you're thinking of the exam and you're thinking about the answers to it. So when you're thinking, when these thoughts come to you, don't pay attention to it. And as time goes, it might take a week, it might take a month for you to completely accomplish this, because I'm sure it is very hard.
I've seen people take years to actually get this right.
So we basically have to ignore the thoughts, and slowly as time goes, you begin to ignore them, and it becomes a habit, and you then can say, you know what, you've accomplished something, even though it's so small. It means so much in your spiritual life.
It does.
So that's one question I think that cleared up a lot.
All right, so let's jump into the history of the origins of the Sahaj Marg. Now, as Dashnee did mention, it is an organization for those of you who didn't know.
Yes.
Now, the organizational body Sri Ramchandra Mission was actually formally registered in 1945 by Ramchandra. So this was in 1899 all the way up until 1983. Now, as part of the Sahaj Marg spiritual practice, Ramchandra actually adopted a technique called Pranahuti and is taught by his spiritual master bearing the same name, Ramchandra of Feta in India, popularly called the Lalaji by his flowers.
Okay.
That's really quite pretty, Lalaji.
It is.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, interact with us in studio today. What is your take or understanding about the Sahaj Marg? Please don't Google it. Okay, Google it.
Please do, because I feel like you also come across different aspects and different meanings to it, and
yeah. Okay, so we're talking about the Sahaj Marg, right? Now Dr. PK Mainstream gave us a nice understanding, a 16-minute understanding. If you missed the show, click on the link or go on the scroll on the bar and watch the show again. All right, so let's look at the Sahaj Marg. So we explain now how there's a master, and we explain what it actually is about, right? So let's look at a bit of the practice a little bit. Okay. Now the system actually involves their daily and weekly practices, right? This is like what? Including solitary and group meditation?
Yeah.
So this is full on spirituality.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned. Okay, and let's talk about the meaning of the word Sahaj Marg. Basically, like you said, heartfulness. So this is heartfulness practices. I mean, this is now including your relaxation, your meditation, your cleaning, or also known as rejuvenation, and your prayer. So basically, it's meditation which focuses on the practitioner's heart and a subtle yogic transmission. And it's also called Pranahuti, which I've mentioned before. And it is also part of the system, and it's also talking about the cleaning, or you want to say rejuvenation. So this involves suggestions and positive affirmations. So if you, in anything you do, it's a bit difficult, and what makes this journey difficult is to always be positive.
That's true.
Yeah. So if you look at it, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at Sahaj Marg, for instance, this involves always being positive or trying to always attract positive, which is difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can completely.
Yeah, it is. So like it's an organization, so you be part of this journey. So we'll call it the spiritual journey, right? And there's benefits to it, because say we go through struggles every day, and we go through life single-minded, it will be very difficult.
True.
So it teaches us a lot of how to get through situations, and a lot of people, I feel like, should go into this.
Yes.
So it is, I think, different ways of how to practice it.
Yes.
Right? You don't exactly have to be part of this organization to follow this, because basically it's meditation.
Yes.
Right? And there's a lot of benefits to it, besides the one that so the people that try to make their mind, calm. It calms your mind, it's to calm your body, it's to be able to deal with difficult people. It's
just say your life.
Yeah. So you can, so say if you are a person who has anger issues.
Yes.
And the smallest thing just makes you upset and you react. So being part of this and this journey, when somebody says something to you, you will handle it well.
Yes.
Right, So it clarifies spiritual goals, it gives more all-encompassing meaning to life, brings simplicity and balance, as I've mentioned. Growth quiets the mind and opens the heart.
Okay.
So I feel that's a very important thing, because the mind...
Everything you're saying to me is basically meditation. So it's like you said, this Sahaj Marg is an organization.
It is.
And the English meaning is heartfulness. I'm sorry, I'm trying to absorb all of this, okay?
Yeah, and it also, one of the other benefits, it improves our relationships with other people. So basically,
it should, because you're humbling yourself.
Yes, you're becoming more heartful.
Yes.
Sometimes your mind is a dangerous place. You react so quickly and
wrongly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is also, I think, a science thing.
Yes.
So because our brain, we work with so much of hormones and stuff, we don't always listen to our heart. You know, the first thing you feel which works is your brain, and you react that way.
Yes.
So I feel like meditation is important because you don't always want to react so quickly. You want to think of
Patience.
Yes. You want to use your heart. So I've met a lot of people and they don't have passion. They me, I'm really a soft person, which is not the best thing.
Yes.
So if I see something that that is like somebody that's struggling or like somebody in a difficult situation, I'll feel sad for it. And I've had encounters with people who actually who are so emotionless, and I think to myself, it's so important to be heart, you know.
Yes.
Your heart must be full, like what this means, right? So this is this journey of the Sahaj Marg.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you feel that you're following it and you didn't even know?
I didn't know. I didn't know that there's actually it's a practice, a whole practice to it, and a whole organization for people to follow this and reach these certain goals. We read meditation. It's similar things, right? I just didn't know that there was a whole organization for
that runs just on meditation and calmness and heartfulness.
Yeah, and this organization actually brings out the benefits of it, and it's where people. It's a goal that you reach.
Yes.
So personal meditation, I feel if you're doing it yourself, you will struggle a lot.
Yes.
So this organization makes sense to me right now.
Yes.
Of that, there's a guru, as Mr. Guru PK Maestri mentioned. There's a guru to guide you.
Yes.
So
thanks, Dr. PK Maestri.
Yeah. So he has put the puzzle pieces together.
Yes.
And you need a guru to guide you for this. So definitely, in this organization, there was a leader, a guru that helped the students, I would say, to reach this and give them this
enlightenment,
advice.
I'll call it.
To give them this advice to reach these goals in a much simpler form with support and love. Because sometimes when you do things yourself and you feel like you have no support and there's less motivation to meditate.
I know that song. I sing that song quite often. But that is why we both created the show. We want your support as a Hindu. When I say Hindu, I mean under Hinduism. We can be Tamil, Gujarati, anything.
That's true. So you support this and we support you. So sometimes if you feel like you've lost in your journey or you don't know something, this is why this show is here.
Yes.
Like many people, I don't think they're aware of these kind of practices like me. But because of the show, I became aware of this, and it's so important.
It is.
Yeah.
So guys, when you're doing your meditation, did you know that you are actually called a practitioner? You are somebody who performs a prayer or a meditative state before actually going to bed at night. So you're a practitioner of the Sahaj Marg.
That's true. You know, one thing, because Dr. PK Maestri mentioned yesterday was Guru Purnima, right?
Right.
And a blessed one to all of our gurus for yesterday. Like you said, you become a practitioner yourself. And one thing I've read a lot of yesterday about the Guru Purnima is our Guru is within us as well.
Yes.
So you too will become a practitioner.
Right.
You will find your true worth and your value, and all the knowledge when you meditate will come to you.
Yes.
So by doing all of this, you are practicing. You're a practitioner. Meditation is you go into a very high state.
Yes.
It's a very conscious state.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
I call it a very spiritual high. I call it a spiritual high. Don't get me wrong in the way I'm using the words, but it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, we didn't even know we were practitioners of the Sahaj Marg as we practice. I don't know how often you meditate. Now, I have my personal things I do in the morning, and I have something I do in the night.
Yes.
And I didn't even realize that was part of being a Sahaj Marg.
Yeah.
Heartfulness.
Even though we might not be part of the organization, we practice these things unknowingly, which is so good in a certain way because it shows how much of how enthusiastic we are, how we are so hungry for knowledge and spirituality that we don't know the significance sometimes of what the benefits are. We just want to attain this because we want to learn and we want to be self-aware, we want to be heartful, but we're not quite aware that this is the importance it's bringing to our life. True. And once you learn of it, you're like even more grateful for what you were doing because of you know the knowledge about it.
Yeah. All right, guys, they're keeping you entertained this afternoon. We'll say hello to Uncle Raul. He decided to do a Murga medley where I met Uncle Raul at the MSK Temple in the Major South, Darling Street. Let's take a look at what he does.
சரவண பவனே ஆறுமுகநயனே சரவண பவனே நீ வாருவாவும் ஆருகராவும் ஆருகராவும் ஆரோகராவும் ஆரோகரா வேல் வேல் முருகா வெற்றி வேல் முருகா ஞானவேல் முருகா நீ வாருவாவும் ஆரோகராவும் 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 ஆரோகரா ஓ வா வா வடி வெல்லவா என் முருகையா வா வா வடி வெல்லவா ஓ செத்திரம்பா செத்திரம்பா வேல் முருகையா அப்பா வேல் முருகையா உன்னை தேடி தேடி வந்தேனே வேலா வேலா ஓ வேலா 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 அமுருகா வேலா 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 அமுருகா வேலா 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 அமுருகா வேலா 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 உன்னை தேடி தேடி வந்தேனே வேலா வேலா உன்னை தேடி தேடி வந்தேனே வேலா வேலா ஓ குத்தாடி மயிலே பச்சை மயிலே வேல் 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 முருகா வேல் முருகா சரவண பவனே வேல் முருகா வேல் 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 முருகா வேல் முருகா இது மன்னா தேவானிக்கு இது மன்னா தேவானிக்கு இது மன்னா தேவானிக்கு ஆரோகாரா இது மன்னா தேவானிக்கு இது மன்னா தேவானிக்கு இது மன்னா தேவானிக்கு ஆரோகரா சரவண பவ சிவா சரவண பவ சிவா சரவண பவ சிவா ஆரோகரா சரவண பவ சிவா சரவண பவ சிவா சரவண பவ சிவாரோகரா சுப்பிரமணியம் சுப்பிரமணியம் சண்முகநாத சுப்பிரமணியம் சுப்பிரமணியம் சண்முகநாத சுப்பிரமணியம் சுப்பிரமணியம் சாயிநாத சுப்பிரமணியம் சாயிநாத சிவ 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 சுப்பிரமணியம் ஹர 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 சிவ 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 சுப்பிரமணியம் ஹர 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 சிவ சரவண பவ சுப்பிரமணியம் குரு சரவண பவ சுப்பிரமணியம் சிவ சரவண பவ சுப்பிரமணியம் குரு சரவண பவ சுப்பிரமணியம் சுப்பிரமணியம் சண்முகநாத சுப்பிரமணியம் சண்முகநாத சுப்பிரமணியம் சாயிநாத சுப்பிரமணியம் சாயிநாத முருகா 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 வேல் வேல் முருகா வெற்றி வேல் முருகா வேல் வேல் முருகா வெற்றி வேல் முருகா வேல் வேல் முருகா வெற்றி வேல் முருகா வெற்றி வேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா.
That was Uncle Raul. I had to call him Uncle Raul. I haven't been asked. Well, he was performing for your Murga medley. You heard the mixes of every song, so that was like quite cool, right? Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, if you want to contact Uncle Raul, do drop us a message on our WhatsApp line. There's a number at the bottom right of the screen, or you could just use the bottom column. It's no secret. If you want any music classes, or if you want to be a part of the MSK Temple and want to know anything about it, you can contact us at Axonville TV, and we'll get back to you. Okay, so before we talk about the Sahaj Marg, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back straight after this.
Manikam.
Namaste.
Namaskaram.
Sairam.
Jai Shri Ram.
Swami Saranam. Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, good afternoon to you. You are currently streaming live with us in Lanesia South on Atom World TV. I'm your host, Kimera Heeralal. By my side, we got Dashnee Manikam.
Manikam, everyone.
And you are currently watching The Journey. It's about exploring Hinduism as a whole. Join us in conversation and interact with us in studio today. As you can see at the bottom right of your screen, we have our contact details. Or because if you are watching this live, use the bottom column right there. It says live chat. Okay, so we're talking about the origins of the Sahaj Marg. We already mentioned to you what we think or thought or researched what it is, right? Thanks to Dr. P.K. Maestri, he helped us, he enlightened us on what the origins of the Sahaj Marg is actually about. And if you look at it, it is meditation. It is meditation that actually focuses on a practitioner's heart.
Yes.
Right? And it's a subtle yogic transmission, which we mentioned before. So what more do you want to add to this to actually educate the viewers on the Sahaj Marg? Do you have anything?
What questions do you have for me? I feel like there's so much of things.
Yes.
When I did my research and whatever I had to go into, so there's a lot of specific things of how it betters relationship and how it benefits your life, as we've spoken. But also like Kimera mentioned about it being yoga.
Okay.
So there's also a thing called as the Sahaj Marg yoga. So that yoga, you know about the chakras.
Right.
It helps to open your heart chakra. And I feel like
that's true, because if you look at it, when they say Sahaj Marg means heartfulness, so it has to be the heart chakra.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah. So it opens your heart chakra, and I think that now does explain everything else I've said before, which you can go back and watch, of how it enlightens your heart self,
right.
How it frees you from being cold-hard, you know.
Yes.
You're more emotion and so that's what
I wish we could touch everybody's hearts on this earth, as in this Kali Yuga era. Not everybody's hard. You get some people who are not even spiritual anymore. It's actually scary. That is why this world, if I go out there now, because I'm changing into this heartful person, I'm gonna get tramped out there. I'm gonna get destroyed.
But again, that's how it also teaches you, be always single-minded. It teaches you not to just be single-minded and how to handle situations. So, like I said, when you encounter people like that in the outside world, and if you say you have anger issues, right? And somebody is telling you things and you don't like it and you need to correct them. Yes, we're allowed to correct people, but sometimes it becomes an unnecessary conversation.
Or conflict of interest, and it turns into an ugly argument. Huh?
That's true. And then from something so innocent, so this basically teaches you how to handle situations like that. Of how to think twice about what are you going to say. Are you going to react on anger, or are you going to just say okay and walk away, but not in a harsh way, because I feel like whatever we do, you know your intentions. You don't need to worry about what another person thinks of what your intentions are, as long as your intention is good. So it teaches you all these things and it helps you. So I think it's really important. A lot of people need to open their heart chakra. I'm just saying.
There are a lot of things you can actually do research as to unblocking or opening your heart chakra. Your heart chakra can be blocked.
Yeah,
any chakra can be blocked, and there are ways to find out how to unblock your chakras. We're going to do that on another show. We're just going to wait for the director and the producers and the team, including Dashnee and myself. Everybody in this production is very important. So it's not only our faces here. You can't see Andy Poonen behind the camera. There's a lot of people who actually put work into this as we talk.
Into making decisions of what's going to happen
on the show. Okay, so we're going to do chakras on another show, but let's talk about, since we are talking about the origins of the Sahaj Marg, let's talk about our spirituality, right?
As it does a link together.
Yes.
The two they both impact each other.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the meaning of spirituality, for those of you who don't know, has developed and expanded over time.
Yes.
Now, it also has various meanings and it can be found alongside each other. Now, look, we were talking about Sahaj Marg. In English, we said heartfulness.
Yes.
Now, heartfulness is also spirituality. Now, traditionally, spirituality is referred to as a religious process of reformation to a religious process of reformation, which aims to recover the original shape of man.
Yes.
Now, when they say original, doesn't that make you wonder? Before this era that you and I are living in, obviously we don't remember our past lives. We don't remember when there wasn't a Kali Yuga era where everything was so beautiful and not material driven, and there was love, and not everything was about money, and my house is better than yours, my car's better than yours, my outfit's better than yours, my skin is better than yours.
That's true.
I want to feel those days if it really did exist.
But that's another thing. So lately, I've been reading some things from the Mahabharata, right? So even in the days of the gods and the yogis and the rishis, right? Okay, now we're talking about the gods.
Yeah.
We think like there was all peace and beauty, but like there's bad and there's good. And I was reading, and even within those deities and yogis, there was also a lot of greed and a lot of hatefulness, and where one wants to be better than the other. And if you think of it now, it's just happening with us in humans, and that's why we try to reach spiritualness so we can be better than that.
Yes.
Because even then, the people who are like that, the gods there were people who were like devotees of God and stuff, and they turned bad.
Yeah.
They were also once good, and they turned bad, which makes me think, and that there's so much of aspects to this. Like even in today's world with us humans, it happens a lot.
Yes, it does.
And those who turns bad, and you think you're right, in the end, the truth always shows. And one thing I've realized, the truth is the most important thing. We live for the truth, and I don't think anyone realizes that. We do meditation, we do soul searching, spirituality for the truth, and it's actually something that is said in our scriptures, that we live for the truth and our realization of who we are, why we are here, and there's nothing else you should worry about. Why is that person perfect and I'm not? You are perfect in your own way,
I don't know why people have that that conception or misconception rather of I'm not pretty, or I'm not handsome, and I'm not good enough. It's all you that's making it that way. It's all in your mind. If you want to pretend you are a catwalk person and go in front of the mirror, if you feel you can sing, take your hairbrush and sing loud from your heart and enjoy it. And I swear to God, the more you give it more belief, you'll give it life.
And you know what? That is called self-love.
That's it.
And this meditation and spiritualness teaches you to love yourself.
Yes.
Because if you're going to listen to what other people are telling you, that's going to feed negative. You're going to keep eating that negative thing, and you're not going to care about yourself. You need to, it's true, and this happens to a lot of people.
It does.
That's why it's so good that people watch our show and get motivated that they are important and they are allowed to take this journey. There's nothing wrong with you. A lot of people get belittled for, especially what I feel, the youth.
Yes.
So as much as there's a great amount of youth that's so happy to embrace their culture and their spiritualness, there's also a whole lot that cares about what people's going to think and say. True. Because in this day and age, you have to keep up with trends.
Yeah.
And you have to always be available, and you always have to do things that you don't like to do. And I feel like with our youth,
do we have to do the trends thing?
No.
Sorry, I've never done it. I've never ever kept up with what's trending.
I certainly don't. But I don't. There's nothing wrong if you do. But I feel like you need to have a good balance.
Yes, of course.
Be proud of who you are before you can flaunt somebody else's creation.
True.
Be proud of your own creation, because trends are made up by a specific person or someone, and it carries on. Make your own trend, meaning love yourself first, which I think is important.
Hug yourself if you're sitting at home alone. Go and hug them, man.
I've also
love everyone, love yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, it's come to that time of the show, okay? And as we teach you one principle of the value system every single day from the 108 principles of the value system from the Tirukkural, today's lesson is number 30. Speak in sweet words.
Beautiful. It also connects perfectly with our topic today.
Yes,
Where does sweet words come from? Your heart.
Yes. Oh, there's a heart just for you guys. We love you lots. Anything you want to say before we go?
Meditate.
Okay, if you don't want to follow anything in Hinduism, say you are non-Hindu watching the show, right? Start off, don't picture any god, anything. Just picture light in your heart first.
But that's what meditation is.
Yes.
It's not entirely to go to in any specific religion. It's for yourself. Meditation is something everyone is spiritual in their own way.
Right.
You know, in any religion you are spiritual. So just it's to bring your own peace.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah and yeah.
Yeah.
So try that out. For those of you who are non-Hindu and you are watching the show and you are looking for peace, inner peace, you're looking for peace of mind.
Yes.
The only way, I think, from my experience, and I've traveled and done a lot, I'm not gonna lie, and out of spirituality as well, the only solution I came to was meditation.
It is. It's very beautiful.
Yeah. So picture light in your heart and focus on it. Whether you can do it for only 2 minutes or 20 minutes or 2 hours, every day you'll grow and the time will
You
get
can
longer.
increase by 1 minute a day.
Yeah.
Just like your thoughts, how it's going to take time to slowly go away. You will get where you need to be.
Alright guys, from myself, Kimera, Heeralal and Dashnee, Manikam.
Vanakkam everyone.
Namaste.
Namaskaram.
Sai Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Swami Saranam Ayyappa. Good night everyone.